and Assalamualaikum everyone. We are from Group 2 and today we will be presenting topic 6, which is about regional and social variation. Before we begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Nur Ajrana Imelda and my group members are Nur Shawani Balkis, Nik Nurdia Akama, Dalia Batrisha and Farha Batrisha. Now, let's begin by understanding what regional and social variation in language means. Language is not fixed. Instead, it evolves depending on where we are and who we interact with. In this regard, the study of regional and social variation explores how geography, social class, and cultural identity influence the way we speak. For instance, these differences can be seen in pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, and even communication styles. More importantly, this topic is crucial because language is more than just a tool for communication. It reflects history, identity, and social structures. Over the years, research has shown that social and regional factors shape language. For example, early studies by Leboeuf 1966 and Truckgill 1974 found that pronunciation and grammar differ based on social class and geography. Nevertheless, in today's world, globalization, media, and digital communication also influence language variation. This in turn raises an important debate. Are local dialects disappearing or are they evolving in new ways? On one hand, some argue that education and media exposure are causing language differences to fade. On the other hand, others believe that regional and social variation remains strong because language is deeply tied to identity and cultural heritage. Therefore, this review explores whether these differences are truly diminishing or simply changing form over time. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dalia Batrisha binti Cik Suhaimi. Now, I will be presenting for Article 1 titled for Social Variation of Malay Language in Kuching, Sarawak, written by Idris Aman and Rosniyah Mustafa in 2009. This article examines how essence, identity, and integration influence the way Malay is spoken in Kuching, focusing on regional and social variation. First one, the article expresses how age, gender, and socio-economic status impact pronunciation and language identity. The authors use a combination of qualitative and quantitative method, including field observation and sociologistic interviews, to analyze the way Kuching Malay differ from Standard Malay. Second, the study found that the Kuching Malay essence is distinct and differ from the National Malay essence. Language use is shaped by social background, age, and gender. Younger speakers are more influenced by internal factors like education and media, whereas our older speakers retain traditional phonetic features. The research also examined the phonological variables that make the Kuching essence unique. The study analyzed 5 key phonological variables focusing on vowels and consonant shift, such as final syllables open and vowel A, like kita, we, final syllable close, and vowels I and U, like bilik, room, masuk, enter. Initial consonants R, like rumah, house. For consonant R2, pasar, market. These phonological differences are influenced by 3 social variables such as gender. Women tend to use the Standard Malay essence more than men. Age, younger speaker adopt more standard pronunciations, while older speakers maintain traditional phonetic. Socioeconomic status, higher SES individuals are more likely to use Standard Malay, where the lower SES group retains local features. Next, interestingly, the study found no strong correlations between speech styles and accent choice. However, certain trends immigrates like informal speech styles such as reading or interview, more Standard Malay is used. In casual conversations and storytelling, more local Kuching Malay feathers appears. This shows that while speakers may adapt their accents to different situations, regional identity remains strong. On the other hand, the study also analyzes how age affects pronunciations, such as adolescents like 50 until 25 years old, such as 16-20% use the Standard Malay accents, like young adults 29 until 14 years old prefer standard pronunciation. Middle-aged adults like 41 until 50 years old follow the national standards. Older speakers 59 until 16 years old maintain more traditional Kuching Malay features. This pattern suggests that younger generations are shifting towards Standard Malay, largely due to education policies, social mobility, and media influence. To conclude from these articles that show the Kuching Malay essence remain distant, but younger generations are shifting towards standard pronunciations such as age, gender, and socioeconomic status significantly influence accent use. Educations, media, exports, and urbanizations are key drivers in language evolutions, while national integration in increasing regional accents continue to serve as markers of cultural identity. This article highlights the balance between linguistic adaptations and identity preservations in Malaysia.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Shawani Balkis and I'll be presenting on the social variation of non-Malay accents in Kota Baru. This study looks at how factors like speech style, social class, and gender influence pronunciations. We will see how some groups prefer standard accents, while others maintain non-standard pronunciation as part of their identity. Let's explore how language reflects both social mobility and cultural belonging. So overall, the study found that standard accents are used more frequently, making up 65% of speech, while non-standard accents account for 35%. However, not all phonological variables behave the same way. Sounds like A, I, U, and R are mostly pronounced in a standard way, but R2 stands out. It remains 95% non-standard. This suggests that while formal speech settings push people towards standard pronunciations, some features of the local accents are deeply ingrained in identity. So, R1 refers to formal pronunciation, while R2 is referred as informal pronunciation settings. So, on this slide, I will explain about speech style and accent usage. Speech style has a big impact on pronunciations. In formal settings like well-structured interview (WLS) and prepared speech (PS), people tend to use more standard accents. But when conversation become more casual, like in spontaneous speech CS or storytelling STS, we see more variations. However, this pattern is not absolute. Some casual settings still show standard accent usage, proving that speech style interact with other factors like social class and gender. So, our speech style and accent often shift depending on the social context. In professional settings such as group meetings or discussions with a CEO, we tend to adopt more formal speech style, often aligning with standard accents. However, when chatting casually with close friends, especially while gossiping, we are more likely to use an informal style, incorporating non-standard accent and relaxed pronunciations. So on this slide, I will explain about socio-economic status and accent use. Social class also plays a major role in accent variation. People from higher socio-economic backgrounds, like the lower and middle groups, LMG and MMG, use standard accent more frequently, about 70% of the time. Meanwhile, lower income groups, MLG and ULG, show more variation, balancing between standard and non-standard features. This suggests that speaking with a standard accent is often associated with education, prestige, and social mobility, while non-standard pronunciation can serve as a way to maintain local identity. So this slide, I will explain about gender and accent awareness. Gender also influences accent choice. The study shows that women tend to use standard accent more than men, about 70% compared to 62%. Interestingly, both men and women show almost identical standard pronunciation for I, around 91 and 92%. However, the R2, which in formal settings sounds remain strong non-standard, suggesting it's deeply tied to local identity. This pattern could be influenced by social expectations. Women may feel more pressure to conform to linguistic norms in formal settings. Why do people choose one accent over another? It is not just about pronunciation, it's about identity and social belonging. A standard accent can signal assimilation into mainstream society, while a non-standard accent helps maintain cultural uniqueness. Interestingly, many speakers switch between accents depending on their situations, showing how language adapts to both social and personal needs. So the last one, to conclude everything, accent variation in Kota Baru is influenced by a mixed social factors, speech-like style, class, and gender. While standard pronunciation is more common, local phonological features still persist. We have seen how social class affects pronunciations, with higher SES groups favoring standard accents. Women also tend to use more standard form than men. But beyond this pattern, accent is more than just pronunciations. It is a marker of identity and a way to navigate social relationships. Language is not fixed, it's a dynamic and deeply connected to culture and society. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nurja Akmal University, and I'm going to present about how accent shapes identity and integration in Malaysia. Have you ever noticed how the way we speak affects how people see us? Accent isn't just about pronunciation, it's also about identity and belonging. Today, I will quickly explain how accents influence social integration in Malaysia based on study by Aman and Mustafa 209. The first one is case ideas from Aman and Mustafa 209 is accents and identifying. In Malaysia, different regions have different accents. For example, in Kuching, the local Malay accent is different from the national standard. Younger people mix in new influence, while older generation keep traditional pronunciation. In Kota Baru, many Chinese Peranakan speakers actually use the Kelantanese Malay dialect. showing how they adapt to the local culture. And the second one is language and social belonging. Accents help people feel connected to their communities. Some people change their accent to fit in, while others hold onto them to keep their identity. And the number three is national language policy and globalization. Even though Bahasa Malaysia is the national language, regional accents are still important. This study focuses on local communities but don't fully explore how government policy language use. Also, because of globalization, English is becoming more common, but research shows that most Malaysians believe both Bahasa Malaysia and English can exist together. And for the last one is, why does this matter? Because the way we speak can affect our opportunities. Those with standard accents might have better access to jobs and education, while strong regional accents can lead to bias. At the same time, accents are personal. They represent our culture, heritage, and identity. In the end, language is more than just communication. It shapes how we connect with others and our place in society.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Farah Batrisha binti Muhammad and I am going to be presenting about the conclusion. So to conclude everything, accents reflects identity and also integration. So national Malay accents, they dominate from a setting, but local accents remain culturally and significant. For standard accent usage, like younger speakers, higher socioeconomic groups, and also those who exposed to education and media loves to use standard accents. For local accents, older generations and also informal settings in Kota Baru and Kuching, they tend to maintain the regional pronunciation. So for gender differences, women in Kota Baru prefer the national accent. Women in Kuching, they tend to adopt it more to like mobility. So for overall, national accent fosters unity and mobility, but local accents, they uphold cultural heritage and also reflecting Malaysia's diverse linguistic landscape. So that's all from me. Thank you.